Hi, this is the HUG strategy. HUG stands for highlight, underline, gloss, and then we added a C for circle any words that you don't know. This is a great strategy to use when reading nonfiction. So I have a nonfiction article. Here's the title, American Indians of Minnesota, and I'm going to show you how to use the HUG strategy to help you understand this article better. My advice is to read each paragraph one at a time and then go back and use the HUG strategy. So here I go. First paragraph. Minnesotans' first inhabitants, the Paley-something Indians, arrived in Minnesota after the glaciers melted. They traveled from northern summer camps to southern winter camps in search of food and to escape the terrible cold or heat. During their many travels and movements, they often left behind objects like pottery, tools, carvings, and even human skeletons. Ugh. Each discovered artifact provides archaeologists with more information about how these primitive people lived. HUG. So I need to highlight the main ideas. Usually the main idea is the first sentence or sometimes even the last sentence of the article. So I'm going to grab my highlighter and let's see. This first paragraph was talking about these people and how they lived. So I would say a very good main idea is that Minnesotans' first inhabitants were the Paleo-Indians, because the rest of this talks about the Paleo-Indians. You'll notice I stumbled through the word this Paleo-Indians the first time I read it. If that ever happens to you, that probably means you don't know what that word is. So if you don't know the word, that's when you circle it. And you might stop and look it up. You might, put a question mark there. That's the circle part of the HUG strategy. Circle any words you don't know. So we highlighted the main idea. Okay, highlight the main idea. Now I'm going to underline any key words and details. So with my pencil, I'm going to do that. All right, keywords and details. Let's see. After the glaciers melted, I think that's pretty important because that's when they came here. Let's see, they traveled from northern summer camps to southern winter camps in search of food and to escape the terrible heat or cold. So they were moving a lot. And why were they moving? To escape the terrible cold and heat. Okay, searching for food. So I'm underlining these things. During their many travels and movements, they often left behind objects like pottery, tools, carvings, and even human skeletons. Ew, this is called writing in the gloss. You can write comments. I'm going to put the comment ew here because that might be kind of gross to some people. This is writing in the gloss. You can draw pictures sometimes if you want to draw a person, or if you want to write a question, like why did they do that? That's writing in the gloss. All right, so each discovered artifact provides archaeologists with more information about how these primitive people lived. Primitive. Primitive. I've heard that word before. I think that means old people, these ancient people. And that's the first paragraph. That's how you use the HUG strategy. You would do this for every single paragraph. We can try the next one. We'll start the next one out. Some of the most interesting remains left by Paleo-Indians were their mounds. These appear to have been created from around 10,000 BC to AD 700 and mark the places where people were buried. The largest number, so right now it looks like they're talking about these mounds. I'm just stopping halfway through and I notice they keep talking about these mounds. So I know that that's going to be a main idea. They're mounds. And then now that I highlighted the word mounds, I'm going to find some details that talk about these mounds. So it says created from around 10,000 BC to AD 700. And they mark the places where people were buried. The largest number of burial mounds, so they're calling them burial mounds, were found all through the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. Wow, that's a lot of area. Wow. Maybe that's going to be a comment that I want to make. Wow. Okay, I'm writing in the gloss. Most of the mounds were large enough to contain many dozens of people. Oh my gosh. And were shaped in circles or ovals, with a lot of earthwork surrounding them. Earthwork. I wonder what that means. I'm going to have to look that one up later. Some of the later mounds were made in the shape of animals or other designs. I bet you mounds look like this. Okay, I'm going to make some mounds. Okay, those are my burial mounds. This is me writing in the gloss. So I hope I've given you some information on how to use the hug strategy.